Okay, so for today's reading, it's gonna be who was I in a past lifetime. So today I just wanted to explain to you guys a little bit more about past lifetimes and Akashic Records so that the information that you're going to be getting in this reading is more valuable to you with the background knowledge of what it's supposed to help you understand. So the Akashic Records they are bound or grounded within the ancient pyramids of Giza. And so those pyramids were built as tombs for the kings. And the whole idea was to build these tombs and leave them with all their possessions, anything they might need, their consort, their slaves, their pets even, money, jewelry, so that when they awake in the next lifetime, they remember that they're not just any ordinary person. And the pyramids are also built in alignment with the Sirius star, so it's a very energetically sensitive place. So when we're tapping into the Akashic Records, it's not an actual physical body, but they are bound energetically at the pyramids of Giza. So I would definitely encourage you to learn more about the Akashic Records and what past lifetimes are about, so that you can better understand the messages that are gonna be coming through in this reading. Because I believe that everything, like no information, no knowledge is told in vain. So even when it comes to a past lifetime reading, that information is still relevant and important in terms of the lessons and karma that you're facing in this lifetime. So with that being said, there's 3 groups. These are some meditation beads. This is a peacock feather, and this is a pyramid. So group 1, group 2, and group 3. And as usual, there are some pre-shuffled, pre-selected oracle cards. So with that being said, we will get started with group 1, the Rudraksha beads. Okay, this is interesting information. So first of all, out of the Egyptian oracle theme deck, we have Kunam, creator god. Then for the chakras, we have holistic health with the root chakra and the sacral chakra, inspiration. So with the 2 bottom chakras coming up, that's already telling me that in this lifetime, you may be struggling with fertility issues or like health issues in this lifetime. And it's not, I guess this is not for everyone, but especially with holistic health coming up, like that could be indicating issues with constipation, lower back pain, pain in the feet and ankles. This is telling me that the root chakra is blocked. So the root chakra is about safety, security, and stability. So if this root chakra is coming up in this way in this lifetime, then what we're trying to find out is what caused that in a past lifetime for you to be dealing with this kind of wounding. And there's definitely a lot coming up around childhood and around like an absent parent. So also remember, like if this resonates with you in this lifetime, then that's even more confirmation that you picked the right group. So what I'm going to be channeling is a narrative that I'm getting from a past lifetime. But if it does resonate, all the better. So with the Oracle of Delphi coming up, that's telling me that you guys are very intuitive. The Oracle of Delphi is also, I think, part of Greek mythology. So you guys may have had a lifetime in Greece, definitely. Then with 8 of Roses, Sangha or community, that's telling me that you guys are definitely old souls that have many soul contracts to complete or open up in this lifetime. And I think in this past lifetime that I'm predominantly picking up, it was a lifetime where you lost a parent at a very young age, most likely a father, with the King of Forces coming up in reverse. And the other thing that's coming up here is that in this lifetime, I think that losing the father was also losing the breadwinner of the family. So I think that on the material plane, your life was very hard. I feel like in this lifetime, it's the opposite of that. I feel that yes, there will be abundance blockages, because we have the root chakra and the sacral where money blockages and love blockages can be found. So yes, you will struggle a bit with love and money in this lifetime, because you are dealing with this wounding from this past lifetime, this abandonment wounding. But I do feel like you've also worked a lot from this space. Like, you're not in this lifetime, you have the potential to be totally abundant. And I also feel for you, for those of you guys who want to have children in this lifetime, like, I feel like it's something that you could be struggling with right now, trying to conceive, or it might be a bit of a hassle for you in the future. But I feel like it's something that you have to clear up in your sacral chakra and your root chakra to make happen. So maybe in this lifetime you don't want kids, but perhaps like your partner does, or there's something that's like opening up within you that it feels like that might be changing. But I also feel like in this lifetime you've probably had a lot of traumatic experiences, either with children and taking care of children, or in your childhood when you were younger, lots of like abandonment and neglect. So having to take care of yourself a lot. So something that I'm actually picking up in the Sangha community card, there's a cabinet behind this table where these people are sitting, and there's these plates, decorative plates in the cabinet. That's really being highlighted to me. I feel like, and it looks like a china plate, so like you know, like that expensive china, like nice dinnerware. Like, I'm getting kind of like a scene or scenario where you maybe like broke something of your mom's that was like quite precious to her, and what's coming up here is this feeling of disappointment in yourself. So I feel like as a child, and like this has translated to where you are at in your relationship with yourself as an adult, you're very hard on yourself. And I think that like a lot of the time you struggle to trust your instincts, because on a whole you struggle to trust yourself. And I feel that like in your relationships in this lifetime, in the soul contracts that you've planned, you really wanted to work on that trust. So especially for those of you guys who have friends from childhood, and maybe those relationships are a bit estranged, I feel like those are key relationships to start opening up, to try and see like where that abandonment wounding is coming. But I feel like as for this in this lifetime, definitely picking up a lot of neglect for you guys as children. And when I say neglect, like, it doesn't necessarily mean that you didn't have enough food and like a safe place to live, but maybe where your parents were busy trying to see the Fool card, very childlike energy coming up. So maybe your parents didn't quite have the time to like take care of like your basic emotional needs. I feel like your material needs may have been met sufficiently enough, but like emotional needs, I feel like are quite neglected for this group. And I feel that in that way, you guys neglect your own emotional needs. There's a lot of work that needs to be done with the inner child. So there's two aces coming up, the ace of water and the ace of fire. The ace of water and the ace of air. So I feel like for this group, you either currently are with the soulmate, but with the Fool card, I feel like it could be someone that you've just met, or you're just about to meet someone. But I'm really picking that up for this group, and I feel like the clearing that you're doing in your root chakra and your sacral chakra is actually making it possible for you to meet your next soulmate. And I also just saw a horse in my mind, particularly it was like a brown horse, and I feel like it has a little bit of white on it, like maybe on its neck and on its nose, like a little bit of white. I feel if that resonates specifically with someone in this lifetime, then that's coming through in terms of how you connect with animals, and that's a good way to heal your root chakra. But for past lifetime stuff, I feel that I'm getting a lot of images of you guys running outside and being outside, especially as children. So I feel for this group in this lifetime that I'm picking up, you like were in some kind of a rural setting. So what I mean by that when I say rural is like farmland, because I'm seeing big open spaces, especially with the horse, right? Like it's not it's not like a vineyard that I'm seeing. Let me put it that way. Like I feel like it's more kind of like open and empty farmland, like maybe somewhere like horse stables perhaps, or that kind of thing. maybe like your family in this past lifetime was into breeding animals. I feel like not so much like growing from the soil, but rather breeding animals is like something that I'm getting. And I feel like it could also be in this lifetime, but you're very surrounded by animals. So like that's something that when you connect with in this lifetime will be very resonant and healing for you. I also feel like you guys are quite creative people, but I feel like your creativity was stifled when you were younger, definitely. And there's a lot of inner child energy coming up here. So for this group in this lifetime, it's very important that you look at your parental wounding, especially the way that you communicate or you learned how to communicate, because that's something that you're opening up in your love life or in your relationships right now. With the Lovers card and the Eight of Roses coming up, the biggest thing for this group that I'm picking up from their past lifetime that's relevant to them right now is that I feel that you are soon going to meet someone that you spent a childhood with in a previous lifetime. So they could have been a sibling or a childhood friend that in this lifetime I feel is going to be a lover. That's something that's coming through strongly. I also feel in this past lifetime you're coming up as a male energy most predominantly, but of course because this is a group reading it will fluctuate. I feel for some of you as well with this childlike energy coming up, like you could have died very young, and I also feel like you could have died like kind of like at the hands of neglect. So if you are living on a farm type environment, it kind of feels like you got out somewhere too near to dangerous animals, and like that's maybe how you passed away in that lifetime. So very abrupt, feeling very unsafe with the root chakra coming up, like you weren't being watched, you weren't being taken care of, you know. But I also feel like in this lifetime where like for most of you I'm picking up died young, like under the age of 10, I feel like you weren't, but this is like a 50-50, like some of you may have been buried on that land, and I feel like for some of you you were cremated and your ashes were like put into some body of water near. So speaking about that body of water, I think with that, if that's giving us some locations, I am like mostly feeling Asia with the body of water, and then with the cremation and the ashes and that kind of thing, and like placing it into the water, like I'm seeing like a water offering, that kind of thing. And so I think that in this past lifetime perhaps you lived near a big body of water. So now what we're going to do is that these cards have some locations on them. So let's see what's coming up for this group for past lifetimes. Where could they have lived? So we have third party karmic situation blocking. So I feel like what's coming through for this is that I feel most of the people who pick this group are single. But if you guys are not single, then you definitely struggled a lot in your relationships. And there was probably always some other third party, whether it was another person, whether it was parents or family, whether it was work, that was taking up like your time and your energy. Then we have pregnant. So I feel like at the time that you passed away in this past lifetime, it might have been that your mother or your family were pregnant with another child. So I feel like especially as a young child, it's like your death was, I wouldn't say like overlooked is the right word, but there was so much going on, like maybe you guys weren't honored as well as you could have been. And so that's something that's coming up in this lifetime as a blockage in the root chakra in terms of feeling safe and protected and cared for. So let's see in terms of locations what's coming up. We have incoming blessings and goddess Hera. I mentioned with the Oracle of Delphi, ancient Greece coming up quite strongly. We have Mesopotamia. Birthdays are an important synchronicity, and doctor. So like especially for you guys that are experiencing like lower body pain, like I think like with doctor coming out up here, I think that like you need to start like attending to your basic needs a bit better, and maybe you need a shift in your diet, and perhaps that's why doctor is coming up. We also have past lifetime marriage, sacred karmic contracts, Europe, and we have Asia as well, and we have goddess Lakshmi too. Okay, so let's check. This is a different deck to get some initials. So these should be initials of you in this lifetime to be a confirmation. And we also have I communicate through songs and the number 888. So remember that you can connect with your past lifetimes, like through music, culture, through food, through dance. Healthier eating is coming up. So I feel like that's something that you're either trying to take initiative on right now, or your guides are asking you to. We also have travel and the letter B coming up. Q, we have M or W. I'm also picking up like the Hindi language, like as in from like an Indian languages. So maybe in this past lifetime you had a lifetime in India. We also have exercise, and that's also coming up over holistic health. So I really feel like it's important for you guys to try and figure out how you can better take care of your physical body. We have the letter U coming up, and I feel like I also just heard Uruguay. Astral communication, we also have Sai Baba, and I send messages through feathers. We also have the letter G. Mariamman, we have J, and we have B. We have Lord Hanuman, we have grounding, and we have Mother Earth. And the number 111. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to read the message out of the Oracle book for this Egyptian themed card that I pulled out. So it's number 19. And it says, Creator God. This ram-headed god sits at a potter's wheel, creating humans, animals, and other creatures to populate the world along with the gods. This powerful Nituro was also one of the gods of fertility and water at the source of the Nile, where his worship was centered at Elephantine, an island in the river Nile. His consort is goddess Satis, and he carried out the plan of Tehuti for creating the universe. So all of this animal energy coming up, that's been coming up a lot for this group. And then the other thing was the water energy that's coming up here very strongly. So you guys might be quite attracted to water, and it might be quite healing for you. You might be a water sign. I don't feel like this death was a water death, but maybe I am also picking up Lemuria. That's why so much water is coming through. So the channeled message from Kunam says, Come to me, for I am a powerful creator God who can fashion you into a powerful human. You exist in time and space forever and have so much hidden universal knowledge. When I call on this hidden power, it gives me the power to make you a god too. You are not here on earth to simply be human. You were created by me to become a god, just as I later unite within myself the four great gods, Ra, Shu, Geb, and Osiris. And for other card meanings, abundance, successful plans will be created that bring financial rewards. Love, you need to create time and space for a new lover coming soon. That's so cool because I was picking that up. Nurture your present partnership to ensure it becomes great for you both. Work or career, your creative energies and determination rapidly build a good career. Work in partnership with another for best long-term success. Travel plans will go well for both local and overseas travel in the near future. I feel like you guys could be traveling to North Africa, or like maybe not North Africa even, but I'm getting something with an M, like maybe Mauritius or Mozambique, but I feel like I'm seeing more like closer to Egypt, Morocco perhaps. I'm getting perhaps like some of you guys in this group had a past lifetime there. And I'm also seeing silks, so I don't know like if there's something about Moroccan silks. Maybe you guys can Google it and let me know in the comments, but that's something that I'm picking up. And it says small group travel is recommended for a holiday travel. Health, you will learn to create your own health through self-healing. You still need to allow for both Western and alternative health options in your life. And Western, we did have doctor coming up. Family, your family are learning to work together but still require much support from you. A new baby is coming for you or a family member, and we did have that card coming up that said pregnant. Future, you have far to go for your life to be as you wish it to be. But keep going, for your plans are coming to fruition and will be successful. So very, very positive energy. And I feel like some last couple of tips for this group, especially in this lifetime, is that you are quite psychic and energetically sensitive. I definitely feel that there are empaths in this group, but also a lot of you with quite keen third eye psychic ability. So with regards to that, it's your root chakra and your bottom chakra. So your root chakra and your sacral chakra need to be able to be strong and stable to support the rest of the system. So that's why you're probably struggling to remember your dreams and work with your third eye. Something else that's coming up here with the Five of Roses is there's a little boy and a little girl in this picture, and I feel like for some of you guys, you are twin flames. I feel like in this lifetime, for those of you who identify as twin flames, more than likely haven't met your twin flame yet, or perhaps your twin is only available to you, like is not reincarnated in this lifetime. Like it feels like quite a disconnect in that regard. But I actually just want to pull out one more oracle card for this group. Okay. Child of the cosmos, the intelligence of the universe lies within you. That's interesting because we got like this energy of the child is coming up a lot, and even this word intelligence, like I feel that like a big part of your awakening is meeting your soul tribe and having them being quite intellectually stimulating. I feel like for most of you guys, I'm also picking up that like some of you guys might be in university studying, and that's where you'll meet some of your soul tribe too. Or at work for that matter, like wherever your mind is being like stimulated and triggered. But I also feel like you guys had quite a tough childhood. Like maybe you had to like grow up real quick and like be there for others in ways that you shouldn't have had to as a child. But I feel like that's something that you're trying to heal right now and also create better boundaries. Because going back to the past lifetime, it feels like there was a lot of neglect, and you in this position where you needed to step up and like act or be responsible more than what your age was, if that makes sense. So I hope that these messages resonated with you. If they did, please like, share, and subscribe to my page, and let me know in the comments what resonated. Okay, so this is for the second group, for who was I in a past lifetime. So we have you, Shubatus, seek assistance on the Egyptian oracle. We have balance for the root chakra. We have Mother Earth here again for the root chakra. We have the Buddha prepares. The Akashic Library, wow, that's a good one to get for Akashic record reading. Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael, wow, this is crazy, the energy that's come up in this pile. And like, I mean, I don't see these cards until right now with you guys, so I'm so shocked to see that Archangel Raphael and Archangel Michael came through. That definitely is very auspicious. And then we also have the Buddha prepares, so I'm also feeling Lord Buddha's energy, of course. And with the Akashic Library coming up, I feel like with this group, you guys are aware of past lifetimes and the Akashic Records. And I feel like you have either done some research or maybe actually done an Akashic Records reading yourself. For this group in this lifetime, I'm picking up predominantly female energy in this lifetime. Although with balance coming up, I feel like you guys are someone that has effortlessly switched between male and female energy in the reincarnations that you've had. So it's been quite balanced and equal in that regard. So we also have with Archangel Raphael and well, the archangels coming up, like I feel like in your previous lifetime that you were Christian or of the Christian faith. But also something that I have to mention about the archangels is that they are actually acknowledged within like a lot of different religious sects, like not just Christianity. I'm so sorry about all the noise like that's coming up, like it's my dog barking in the background and there's noise outside as well. So I feel like you guys are quite ungrounded, like people that really do struggle to focus, and there is a lot going on around you. And I feel like particularly in this lifetime, like with your family home, so if you guys do live with your family or with others, I feel like that environment has been like quite draining for you, and it's been hard for you to take care of your own needs or feel like your needs are being met while like living with other people. But if you're living by yourself with balance and with the root chakra coming up so strongly, that's definitely telling me that you need to have a look at whether you are taking care of your basic survival needs better, because the root chakra has to do with safety, security, and survival. So these are what we need to take care of on the physical plane with our body in order to sustain the mind and the soul. Speaking about the soul, with the Buddha prepares, I feel like you guys have quite a powerful crown chakra. And I also feel like, I don't know, like you guys might be quite spiritual people, like religious too, like I was picking up with the archangels. But with the Buddha prepares and like this meditation, I feel like you guys definitely do have psychic abilities. But I also feel like in this lifetime, you were a prodigy of some sense. So like maybe you were really skilled with like a musical instrument, or you were just like really intelligent in school, picked up on reading or writing very fast. Like I'm picking up more left brain creative talents than right brain creative talents. So better at like writing, languages, creativity, rather than like maths and logic. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I actually want to read this oracle card first to see what's coming up. So this is number 44. Okay. Seek assistance. These little faiences or clay figurines of the deceased developed a life of their own after they were ceremonially and magically blessed, to enable them to assist the mummy they were buried with in the tomb. The richer you were, the more Eushubtus, I'm not sure how to pronounce this. So let me spell it out for you guys. So it's Ushubtis. The more of them you had in the afterlife, from 365 to 1,000 for some pharaohs. They serve as a reminder that spiritual and everyday help is always there if requested. Place this card next to the cards of Orset and Amun-Ra and Tehuti on an altar or a table. Light a candle and add a drop of frankincense oil to your hands and pray over the cards asking for help. Visualize your problems as solved, and they soon will be. So yeah, like I definitely feel like for this group you guys do have some kind of spiritual ritual or routine. About that, guys, I had to pause the video quickly so I could just close my window. There was so much noise coming from outside, so I could better concentrate. And I feel like you guys are people that are quite sensory sensitive. So like loud noise, probably screeching, really bothers you. You know when people like mistakenly scratch their fork on a plate, like, oh, that sound like can make me actually feel nauseous. I am picking up that you guys are sensitive in that way, but very, very powerful people, very connected. And I feel like you guys definitely work with spirit. Like I'm also picking up Lord Muruga's energy, Lord Ganesha, the mother to Parvati. And I feel like for some of you guys, you may be a mother devotee, or even do porridge prayers yourself, like host porridge prayers at your home and connect with her in that way in terms of like offerings, right? But then with that being said, I feel like, so in this card, there's a picture of a little girl. I mean, there's a picture of a Buddhist monk that's meditating, and behind him are other people, okay? And this one little girl is really being highlighted to me. And so, like I said, everyone's meditating, but there's something about her. She has like just a more joyful nature about her. And I feel like you guys are the kind of people that, although you're quite spiritual and deep, you're also someone that's down to earth. You know, I feel that you probably are mistaken for immature a lot of the time, but it's not that you're immature. I think you're just very well connected with your inner child. I also feel with Archangel Raphael coming up that you probably had like a lot of difficulties with your family life growing up. Archangel Raphael, I feel like he sits in the heart chakra, and he has a lot to do with family healing. And that kind of, and he can really help you with working through that kind of karmic wounding, especially with Mother Earth coming up. So mother, so it might be particularly with the maternal figure. But I feel like in this lifetime, this past lifetime, I'm picking you up as a mother. So I feel like in this lifetime, I'm picking you up as someone who was a big provider for the rest of the household. And I mentioned something about that a bit earlier, about like in terms of who you're living with. So this is a bit of a dark image, but I just saw blue lips. So I feel like you guys could have frozen to death. That's very, very specific. But I feel like you were like maybe stuck in some kind of snowstorm or something like that, and you had to like hide out. And I feel that like you were with your children and you probably tried to save them too, but I think that they died in front of you, and then you eventually died a little bit later. So that's very, very specific, and that's not going to be for everyone. But I feel there's like definitely someone that's come through that struggles with claustrophobia, so like lives even, and probably lives in an extremely, extremely warm climate, like nowhere near snow or anything icy. I feel like in this lifetime you could have been like in Russia. That's what I'm picking up, but I am picking up a heavily female energy. So someone that you definitely had children in your last lifetime that I feel that you lost in a way that you couldn't have prevented them passing, you know. So let's see what, and in that regard, like that's why your root chakra is coming up so blocked, because it's about survival. So maybe it's a thing of like you feeling like you didn't survive in that lifetime. Let's see what's coming up in terms of the tarot. So we have the Two of Pentacles, and there's also a picture of two kids on this group as well. We have the Tower. So I do feel like in this lifetime that I'm picking up, you had more than one child. And also for most of you, I feel like you were married, but it feels like your partner wasn't with you. Yeah, so we have the King of Chalice as well, and the Two of Chalices. So very, very heavy couple energy coming up. Like it feels like in this lifetime, it was either a thing of you hoping that your partner would find you and the kids and like be able to save you or something like that, but I don't feel like that's what happened. I feel that like you were I feel like you were stuck or trapped somewhere. And then with truck, I feel that for some of you guys, I feel not a car accident, but being again trapped or squashed by something heavy. There's definitely a sense for everyone who picked this group of dying in an unnatural way, being perhaps crushed by something, like the air being squashed out of your lungs. That's the vibe that I'm getting. Okay, but then in terms of past lifetimes, in terms of lovers, I am picking up with the Queen and King of Chalices, there's a heavy couple energy. So I feel like for most of you guys, you are in a relationship and currently reunited with a soulmate from a past lifetime that you did have children with. But again, going back to this lifetime, like I feel there was something that went wrong where like you couldn't assure the safety of your family. And that's something that I'm getting at. Especially going back to Archangel Raphael, I feel like he's coming through so strongly because you blame yourself a lot. Like bringing it back to this lifetime, you unnecessarily take on other people's stress and pain, especially people that are like in your family. So I feel like from Seek Assistance, like what your guides want you to know and learn, that it's not a thing of only giving out energy and giving out assistance. Like it's okay to also ask for assistance, you know? So let's see in terms of these oracle cards what's coming through. These cards have some locations on it, so just for us to get an idea of like where you may have been. So children from past lifetimes, that's coming up very intensely. Like there are two children here, a boy and a girl, and a boy and a girl here. So I do feel like that was kind of the combination. Let's see what else is coming up. Europe. I feel like also some of you guys maybe might be moving to Europe, like, or maybe have a goal to, or very attracted to the northern hemisphere, but you live in the southern hemisphere. And like, remember what I said about the cold, so that you're in like a very warm place now, but I feel like you died somewhere that was like very cold. Incoming soulmate, that card has come up a couple of times. Lemuria and incoming soulmates again. Okay, something else that I'm getting here is that with this Buddhist monk, with the orange robe that he's wearing, I feel like you may have been, but this is a different lifetime that I'm picking up, and this is a male lifetime. You may have been a monk that like served time in the Himalayas, very, very isolated life. And then I think that could have been the lifetime just before this one, because this one feels like it was very material and industrial. In fact, I feel like this lifetime that we're heavily channeling into could have been during World War One, I feel. So maybe that's why you guys were hiding out somewhere, like as a family. Perhaps it wasn't safe for you. And maybe that's also why the husband, the father, wasn't around, like out at war. So let's see in terms of these cards, in terms of initials, and other information that we could get. Chakra alignment. We have the letter U and F. So I'm picking up France, but and also Portugal. We have the letter A and 888. We also have karmic ties. We have the letter, wow, M and W. So oh, M and M. So I mentioned about Morocco or Monaco, but it definitely feels like it was like above the equatorial line. Lord Muruga has come up, that you were in your last lifetime. We also have Mari Amen. We have karmic ties coming up again here. M again. Lord Muruga again. Incoming phone call or text message, spirit babies. So children from this lifetime that you've lost, it is possible for you to connect with them, especially now with the awareness that they were around, or you feel some kind of attachment. And I feel like for most people who pick this group, you guys are too young to have children in this lifetime. But for those of you who do have children, I feel it's been quite a rocky road so far. And it's probably been quite difficult for you to like find your foot and your grounding in terms of what's the best way to deal with this child. And I feel that you guys probably have an extremely emotionally sensitive and energetically sensitive child in this lifetime. And there goes my puppy Luna again. And I actually believe that Luna was a child from a past lifetime. So maybe that's something that's coming up for you guys, that you have a pet or maybe a niece or a nephew that's a child from a past lifetime. Okay, so to end off, we are gonna get a card out of this oracle deck. See what's coming through. Oh, that jumped up. Wow, this is so crazy. This is a card that came up from the last pile. So maybe you are watching pile one, and these piles seem to be like the opposite of each other. But I'm gonna get out another card because like I said, it came up for the last group. Activated Earth. So I'm also picking up the UK for you guys, a place that you could have been reincarnated in. Maybe you were living near the Stonehenge. Activated Earth, power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. And I mentioned snow, so I feel like for some of you guys it could have been like an earthquake, and like that caused an avalanche, and then you got trapped, like something like that. But then like also earthquakes, like I'm picking up like South America for like earthquakes, like specifically. I also feel like in this lifetime you guys haven't traveled that much, but again have aspirations of traveling to the northern hemisphere and in winter as well, because I feel like there's probably something within you that's really looking for snow, and that coldness that can take you back to the happy memories that you had in that lifetime. Because I feel like you guys, in terms of like your basic needs, I feel like you were quite a, maybe not well off family, but maybe middle class. Like your basic needs were taken care of, you know, and you were able to take care of your children. Like I feel like I said, you were like coming up as a woman energy, as a mother. So I feel like your partner in this lifetime provided for you sufficiently, but the threat that came was something that was totally out of your control. Whereas like financial restraints are like more in our control. You know what I mean? So I feel in this lifetime, it might be, this blockage might be showing up more in terms of financial restraints or in terms of your love life. If for those of you who aren't in a relationship, I feel like you're trying to find a balance between your spiritual self and your material self. And I feel that like you've probably been trying to manifest a partner, but perhaps feeling like you don't know like why it's not working. And I think because in manifesting this partner, you are going through an awakening and an enlightenment, because there's some clearing that you need to do in order to be at the vibration of the soulmate that you're trying to manifest in. So yeah, like that's what I'm getting for this group. And we have Lemuria coming up at the top of the deck. We also have March, so maybe your birthday is in March. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the messages. I hope they resonated. Sorry for all the noise that was coming up in your group. Oh, we also have South Africa. So I mentioned about living in the southern hemisphere and feeling very attracted to snow. Okay. Yeah, so if the messages resonated, please like, share, subscribe, and let me know in the comments like what it is that did resonate. And there were a lot of like specific things that came through, so I love to hear from you guys when you felt like that message was like just for you. Final group, this is the pyramid. Let's see what's coming up. So we have Bast, joy and pleasure. That's very cool. Egyptian goddess. We have I am presence. I feel like there's a lot of water signs that pick this group. Clarity for the third eye, and then the I am presence is the crown chakra. We have the King of Roses, the architect, Hilarion. Wow, very strong. Wow, very strong crown chakra for these guys, for this group. I feel like you guys, your strongest chakra is your crown chakra, so you might be mediums, like able to connect with the dead. That's coming through very strongly. But I also feel like in this lifetime, you've lost a lot of people that you love and that you maybe would want to connect with. For some of you guys in this lifetime, that may have been a father. That's coming through quite strongly here with the King of Roses. With the architect, I feel like that has to do with the work that you're doing in this lifetime, or maybe in terms of like the desires that you have. So I feel like you guys are creators, you know, you're the kind of people for work that whether even if you are sitting in front of your computer, you're making something, like you're writing something, you're creating something with the architect. But the architect is also got a picture of two men looking at some drawing plans, and they seem to be constructing one of the pyramids. So like I was mentioning in the intro, the pyramids were constructed as tombs for the pharaohs, and the greater the pharaoh, the greater the tomb. So I actually feel like you guys do have like lifetimes in ancient Egypt, even with Bast coming up. I feel like in that lifetime, you coming up as a feminine energy, a very alluring, beautiful, charismatic woman, and that could be you in this lifetime too. And speaking about that, like in terms of how is this relevant to this lifetime, with the King of Roses, like I said, for some of you guys, I feel like it is a father that's coming through that's past. But I also feel like for maybe like 25% of you, it has to do with a love interest rather. and I just saw a cat in my mind. So maybe you want to, and Bast, right? Goddess Bast. One of the ways that she, or Bastet, one of the ways that she presents herself or like reincarnates on the earth plane is through cats. So you might feel quite connected to cats and like prefer cats over dogs. In fact, in ancient Egypt, like cats were seen to be very sacred and well taken care of because of Goddess Bastet. So let's actually start with reading that card first. Joy and pleasure, and it's number 6. This cat goddess is the beautiful, sensual, and joyful aspect of the fiercer lion goddess Sekhmet. The 9 realms of the universe are manifested in the cat. They are seen as having 9 lives and can easily enter a state of joy and harmony. So in terms of this 9 lives thing, I feel like out of all of the groups, you guys have reincarnated onto the earth plane the most. I just got a vision of like the pyramid, but the tip of a pyramid. So maybe you guys were present during ancient Egyptian times when the pyramids were being built, but I don't feel like you guys were like doing hard labor. Like I don't pick that up for this group. Like maybe even in this lifetime, like you guys are not like hard labor kind of people. And I also feel like in this lifetime, like whatever you do for work, you're very good at it. You're very respected by others. And lots of people come to you for advice. There's also lots of books coming up here. So if you're working, I feel you're thinking about furthering your qualifications. For those of you who are studying, you might be finishing up studying, I feel like, and trying to figure out like what to do in your career. There's a lot coming up for career for this group. I feel like there's major shifts going on with career in this lifetime. But from the past lifetime, I feel that in this female energy, you probably didn't need to work in this lifetime, but had a desire to contribute to society. So I feel like in this lifetime, you have like a lot of hobbies, like maybe you're a humanitarian, a philanthropist, like you have a lot of hobbies that have to do with giving back to others. Bast is seen as the daughter and soul of Orset, and she is also the representative of Syrian cat people on earth. The channel message from Bastet: I'm so full of joy to be here and wish to announce that you will soon have a new flow of happiness in your life. So you may release sadness now. New love will come to many. As a cat goddess, and I said cot there. So I feel like I'm not picking up like maybe pregnancy, but maybe like a new baby, like a newborn, like less than 6 months old. New love will come to many. As a cat goddess, I wish to send you all forms of sensual and earthly delights. So invoke me often to allow them to come to you sooner. So you guys might also be very drawn to big cats, and that makes me think of my friend Michelle. She loves big cats, and she always posts these really beautiful like videos where their eyes are really like highlighted to me. Like they have like very beautiful eyes and like lots of beautiful artwork she posts about cats, and I'm thinking about that right now, and I feel like with the eyes, you guys have really sharp vision. You might wear glasses, but you have sharp vision, like you can pick up on things. And I also feel like very little nonsense gets past you guys. You know, you're the kind of people that you say it like how it is. You maybe even described to have like a big mouth or a loose tongue. But I feel like in your past lifetime, like coming up in this female energy, especially in ancient Egypt, I feel like it was a kind of thing where you weren't allowed to express yourself. I just saw a ring again on the top of this, on the peak of the pyramid. So I feel like there is a lover from this lifetime that's going to be coming forward soon. And I feel like you could meet them at work, or you'll meet them at a time when there's a shift going on with your career. I'm also hearing the Palace of the Lost City. So maybe you guys have plans to go to Sun City, but also the Lost City, I'm thinking about Atlantis. Thinking about Atlantis as well. Okay, so card meanings: abundance. Forget your money concerns as abundance is coming. Go play and be creative to free up manifestation energy. So if in your last lifetime you had like a very leisurely way of living and being taken care of, like the way that you're working in this lifetime, it's like I don't feel like you guys are stuck in a survival mode. I feel like you're quite aware of what it is you want and how you want to spend your energy. But I also think like sometimes you tend to get sucked up in other people's problems, and as a sensitive person, like it's important for you to keep healthy boundaries. I also feel like you guys, your mediumship gift is opening up quite a bit right now. So you might be seeing like shadows and this and that like around. I wouldn't say pay no attention, especially if you keep seeing it. Like try and have a look at the synchronicities and patterns that keep coming up so that you can identify why you might be seeing said energies, you know. So it says love, new or more love in an old relationship, shorter term relationships, work or career. Don't worry so much, the situation will resolve itself if you relax and go play. Yeah, so that's coming up a lot in terms of like what's going on with work, and maybe you're trying to find like a better work-life balance in this lifetime. I'm also getting this sense, I feel like you guys could either be foodies or like in a past lifetime you ate really well, like only the finest of the finest foods. So I feel like in this lifetime you're quite attracted to luxury, and you're maybe the kind of person that everything you pick up is like the most expensive one of that thing, and you're like, why do I have such expensive taste? But I also feel like you guys are people that either like to spoil others or get spoiled a lot. Like you either buy people flowers a lot, or you the one that gets flowers a lot, or maybe both. But for travel, we have to London, New York, or any big city will be exciting. Health, relax more and stress less is the answer. Family, possible multiple pregnancies. Oh. Future, a good life if you continue to meditate and create happiness for yourself. So even here with presence, that is where I was picking up all the crown chakra energy. And like meditating will be good for you guys because it will help you, like it will help you understand better the messages that are coming through for you. Wow, we have the Empress in reverse. So I feel like in that lifetime that I'm picking you up in a feminine energy, I feel like you maybe died at around 30 or something like that. See, Eight of Pentacles coming up in reverse. So it's a kind of vibe of like never having to work a day in your life kind of thing in your past lifetime. But I also feel like this was kind of distressing for you because there was no sense of I guess responsibility for your own life. And yeah, I feel, and you didn't have children in this life or really anyone else to look after. I feel like you just have to look after yourself. I feel like in this lifetime you died just before you married, so when you were courting. And I feel that it perhaps there was like a delay in the union due to like work, or maybe what your partner was doing for work. So maybe they had to travel somewhere for work or something like that, and it feels like you passed away when your partner, the person that you were supposed to marry, wasn't around. And I also feel that you may have been an only child in that lifetime, especially with the Empress card coming up in reverse. So now let's get some locations. So these cue cards over here will give us an idea about maybe where in the world you could have reincarnated. Asia. I'm also getting Turkey. March. Upcoming shift in Korea, I did pick that up. August. I feel maybe that's like you had a lot of changes and shifts. August has already passed when I've done this video, but we have March coming up again. So it feels like something new is coming along. And after, so August is at the end of the year, then March near the beginning. So I feel like something's ending off, something's cutting off. So like you may be in a job right now that you know that you want to leave. Then we also have incoming soulmates. That's coming up over the Four of Swords. I feel like you guys feel quite lonely and isolated at this time. And I feel like as quite spiritually deep and sensitive people, you find it really hard to connect with others. So you used to be the person that used to wear your heart out on your sleeve, but I feel that you've been hurt a lot in love, like betrayed a lot in love, and abandoned a lot in love. I guess that in that past lifetime when you died just before marrying, maybe that abandonment wounding is what you need to play out. We have P coming up, the letter P. I just heard pat or patty. We have T, Tammy, or like Tanishka, or Tallulah. We have dream messages. We have N, Nelly, or Nancy, or Narisha, or Nalisha. We also have K, so Kaylin, Kayla, Kaylee, Kiwi, KT, T came up before. Tom, I'm getting also. TK. Oopsie. I'm also picking up that you guys in this lifetime maybe know more than one language. We also have I communicate through car number plates. We have Q, Mariaman, Awakened. I'm definitely like hearing another language. I like, and one that I don't recognize. So I feel like I'm hearing like an Asian language. And I think that like in this lifetime you may not know an additional Asian language, but maybe you're drawn to learn, or you watch a lot of like dubbed series or that kind of thing. But I am like hearing like maybe like I feel like again like an Indian language, so Hindi or Telugu or Tamil, maybe even Arabic, something like that is coming through. But you guys have a lot of passed over loved ones that are looking out for you and clearing your way on the other side. And like I was mentioning in the beginning, in this lifetime you seem to have lost a lot of loved ones, especially like at young ages and in untimely ways. But I feel like that's how you exited the earth plane, like the last time that you were here. So that's why you're experiencing it from the other side. There's something that needs to be learned there. So now we're going to end off with a card from this oracle deck. And the one that we got is the Seas of Mintaka. Seeing potential. I'm also getting Toronto or Tokyo, something else that's coming through with a T. Toronto, yeah, like Canada. I mentioned Turkey, but the Seas of Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. So I feel like in this lifetime, like you guys are probably part of some kind of spiritual sect, or some kind of like religious sect, like where you like in a group, maybe like go to like ceremonies or temples, like practice in a group. That's something that I'm getting. But I feel like you guys are like very much loan sharks, you know, like you like to do things by yourself, and I think it's like more dependable and reliable for you that way. But in order to call in a soulmate or to improve your relationships, it's important for you to make more space for others to be around you. You are very sensitive, but use that sensitivity to also know when you're feeling drained and when you feel like you want to take from others, because that's okay too. And I feel like work has been very draining for you guys recently, and you may be in a place where you're trying to think about like, okay, what is it that's a priority to me? Because if I'm feeling tired every single day and burnt out and worn out, then like, is this really the way that I want to live? So I feel like you guys are kind of in a dark space right now in that case, and like trying to figure out like what is it that drives you or that keeps you wanting to go forward. I just heard the Red Sea also, so, and Jordan too, that's coming up. So that's a place, but that Jordan could also be a name as well. But I'm hearing Jordan, so I feel like it's like North Africa, Jordan. But yeah, so those are the messages that are coming through for this group. I hope that like it made sense and that the messages resonated. And if they do, please, if the messages did resonate and they were enjoyable, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, let me know in the comments what it is that did resonate, and if you enjoyed this reading, and also if you have an idea about like different kinds of readings that you might enjoy in the future, please let me know in the comments below.